When Lydia came home from school, she went to Beetlejuice's room feeling like he needed some company.
Hey, Beach! I got some books to help you with your reading. Yeah, never mind about that,
he said as he took the books out of her hand and throwing them over her shoulder. He then grabbed her arm and sitting her down on the bed, really needing to tell someone about this.
Lids, I now know what's going on. What? All the craziness that's happening? Yes, it's my dad trying to contact me. Here.
He showed her the ad, which left her surprised when seeing the name.
Your dad's name is also Beetlejuice? No, Lids, his name's not...
Oh crap, the curse. How is he going to explain it to her? But then he got an idea.
Okay, you know how you and Delia have been trying to teach me about sounding out words? Yeah? Well, with my dad's name, the first part is the same, but the second part, you don't hear the J, you hear the G, and at the end you hear the word ice.
Lydia took a moment to put it together, and just as she got the answer, she said it.
Beetlegeuse?
She then said it a second time, but just as she was about to say it a third time, she stopped.
Yes! Just one more, Liz, please. I really want to see my daddy. Please. Well, that depends. And what? Is he anything like your mom?
With BJ hearing that, he did not know how to answer. I mean, the guy walked out on him when he was 6, and he didn't have much memory of his dad. But knowing how much of a monster his mom was, maybe he wasn't that bad. So he lied and said,
No.
So Lydia agreed to help and said the forbidden name 3 times. But after she said the 3rd time, nothing happened, leaving BJ's heart to start breaking with the hope that he had built up, all for nothing. But then suddenly... When they ran downstairs to see what was happening, what they saw left them in shock. What they saw was a big bony ghost with red eyes and green slime pouring out of its mouth, having the Maitlands cornered along with Kathy in their arms. As the poltergeist raised his hand up, making a grab for them, Lydia got scared to death, not knowing what was going to happen, so she turned to her friend for help.
Beach, do something!
So Beetlejuice ran upstairs to find the book, then came back down while looking for a spell on how to tame demons. While that's happening, Adam tried to make a run for it, do what he can to make an distraction, but also wanted to know what the hell was going on.
Lydia, what did you do?
I didn't do this. Beetlejuice did. Guys, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to see my dad.
But just as Adam was about to say something, his body flew into the air, landing onto a coffee table, breaking his fall. And it's a good thing he was already dead, or else he would have had internal bleeding from that body slam. He then tried to get up and get away, but he lost his footing, so the only thing he could do was crawl backwards.
So let me get this straight. That creepy poltergeist thing is your dad?
Yes, and I would appreciate it if you stop calling him names. Thank you. Beej, we're running out of time. Find a spell. Alright. Oh, here's one. For the evil that rises above the ground, do what you can to calm it down.
As the spell was cast, the giant monster stopped in his tracks, screaming into the heavens with a cry that was so loud and so ear-bleeding that everyone in the United States could go deaf from. Then, the monster looked like it was starting to melt, like the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz, leaving Beetlejuice to be scared, thinking he just cast a spell that would kill off his father. So he jumped from the staircase and ran over to see maybe there was a way to fix it. But when he ran over, there was nothing left but just a puddle, leaving Beetlejuice to just fall to his knees and cry with tears running down his face, not believing that this was happening. When he looked again, for some odd reason, the puddle turned into a sheet, and when he pulled it off, there was his dad, lying there in his true form, making BJ feel terrible the fact that this was the only thing he was going to know about his father, and what he looked like. To which what he looked like was he had skin that was rotted like a zombie, along with rotted teeth. Dark circles under his eyes that made him look like he hadn't slept since he was born, along with big frizzy hair that made him look like he stuck his tongue in a light socket. BJ tried to get him to wake up. He started shaking his body.
Daddy? Daddy! Daddy, please wake up! Please!
But still, nothing, leaving more tears to pour down his face. A moment that he dreamed of for so long was now ruined. Until...
Oh, what the fuck?
Daddy, you're awake!
BJ cried as he gave his father a big hug.
Yeah, and I was having such a great dream too. Thanks, son.
BJ didn't care what his father just said. He was just happy that he was okay. But before he got to spend time with him, the front door started to open, and everyone in the house knew it was Lydia's parents, but did not know how to explain it to them, but their new house guests. When they walked in, they were in a really good mood because they got a surprise for them.
Guess who got KFC?
Delia said, holding 2 big bags of the fast food. But as soon as her and Charles saw the stranger sitting on the floor, their smiles slowly faded away, leaving them to think that why is it that every time when they go out, they come back to something like this. They then started to have a family meeting, and then the couple went to another room to explain this a little bit more about what to do.
So what do you think?
Well, I think it would help him very much knowing it might start off rocky, but that will pass. And besides, he really needs a father figure in his life. How about you?
Well, I'm starting to wonder if this house was built on an Indian burial ground, but other than that, where is he going to sleep?
Oh, well, BJ told me the last place his father stayed was in a town model, so maybe we can use one of Kathy's dollhouses.
Charles could not believe he just fucking heard that. After everything was settled, it was now time to eat. But first, everyone had to wash their hands. As everyone headed up to the bathroom, BJ just stood there telling Delia he already did it.
Oh, really? Well, I guess you won't mind me looking at them.
With hearing that, BJ started to get a little worried and hid them behind his back, along with backing up a little.
Now, honey, if you have nothing to hide, you would show me.
With that, he started to feel guilty, leaving him no choice but to show her. And what she saw was absolutely disgusting. His hands were covered with mud, dirt, and God knows what else.
Oh, Beetlejuice! We'll talk about this after going to the bathroom. And before eating, you need to wash your hands. I know it's not something you're used to, sweetie, but you have to do it for us.
Fine.
He pouted, heading off to the bathroom, leaving his father, who was sitting in the dining room table, smoking a cigarette, dumbfounded, not believing what he just saw. He's been here for like 10 minutes, and all he can see that his son's been like pussy whipped by these humans. And just as Delia was about to ask him the same thing, he quickly stopped her before she said his name.
Whoa, babe! Unlike my son, you can't even say my name the first time. That's how cursed I am.
Oh, well, what do we call you then?
Well, sweetheart, knowing it was just my first name that was cursed, I guess you can call me Shaggoth.
Shoggoth?
That's my last name, Cupcake.
Well, Mr. Shoggoth, do you mind washing your hands before we eat?
Nope.
No?
I'm not gonna follow a pussy human rule like that.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Shoggoth, but you can't eat with us if you won't do it.
Fine. I wasn't hungry anyway.
He said, storming up to his room. But before he did, not only did he give Delia the finger, but he also did this weird thing where he stuck his tongue out and then licked the finger, then headed off again, leaving Delia just standing there, not sure if she should be offended or confused. And it was not just that. For the past few days, Beetlejuice's father was causing a lot of trouble in the house, leaving everyone sick of it. As BJ was in his room watching TV, he heard a knock on his bedroom door, and when he opened it, all he could see was nothing but unhappy faces.
Oh, what did I do now?
Oh, honey, you didn't do anything. It's just... Well, the thing is...
It's about your father.
Charles...
His pranks have been making everyone's lives a living hell. My boss is in a wheelchair because of him.
He put a dead skunk in one of my jugs.
He keeps putting rats and mice down my pants, leaving me no choice but to take them off in front of him.
He also put a spell on my statues, making them come to life and chase poor Kathy around the house.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, he has to put a spell on Kathy's potty chair, turning it into a monster, leaving her so scared the poor thing won't even use it now. She's been having either accidents or finding another place to make it tinkle.
Adam, dude, you seriously have to learn to cuss more.
He's serious. We all are. You have to talk to your father before things get more out of hand.
And what if I don't?
Then we'll send your asses back to the netherworld so far you will never return to the human world again.
Okay. I'll talk to him.